what does the spring actually do? The spring, it's something that we will have to activate and that actually does the job for us. And this is a very important concept, okay? The spring takes all the physical work away if we work with it. Instead, if we work against it, it's gonna make our job 10 times harder, okay? Working against it, it's impossible. It's so hard, like, and there's no point on doing that. So, what I mean by synchronizing is, if we work against the spring, it means that when the spring wants to pull the beater back, we're pushing it down, so it's like we're contrasting this force, this motion, and we're gonna, have the speed of the pulling of the spring against the speed of the pushing of our ankle, which will create, a crash. It will create a very intense work for our body. So we will have to have support of bigger muscles, so the leg motion, and that's why sometimes we have hard times only using ankle motion. Instead, if we work together, synchronized, it means that we're just basically following. We push the spring down and then we follow the spring back up. So we don't work against it, but we follow it, and then with the little push we have to we will be able to keep it going at the speed that we want. Okay, so the speed, it's a second thing that once we can be synchronized to the pedal, and by that I mean to the spring really, because the pedal itself doesn't move, it's the spring that keeps the pedal moving. Once we can do that, we will just need to decide and to control, the synchronization at the speed that we need for that part of the piece of music or practice that we're doing. So this is why the spring is so important, and automatically the spring setting will make a huge difference. Of course, everybody knows that if we loosen the spring, the pedal will be slower, because the spring won't be very tight, so it will have a slower response. And if we tighten it to the max, the pedal is going to be faster. But at the same time, if we loosen it up, we will have less rebound to control, and if we tighten it up, we will have a lot of rebound, and so we will have to work on our body reaction of our ankle reaction way faster, like a lot more, because we will have a very fast response of the pedal, and so we want to be ready to follow it back so fast. So the spring tension has to be regulated based on our body preparation. We have to understand how fast is our ankle motion and then set the spring based on that speed. We will have to go all the way down with the setting, start a try and see how it feels, and slowly tighten it up until we don't feel it's comfortable, until we don't feel like our foot is faster than the pedals come back, and if it's tightened too much, we will feel like we don't have the control, like the pedal is too fast for our foot. So we have to get to that point, and so it's very, very, very important to set the spring based on our body preparation and not based on what we see on the internet, on how our favorite drummer sets the spring. It makes sense that if you tighten it up like to the max, the pedal will be faster, but if we're not prepared to that kind of speed, it's useless. We're just gonna have hard times to stay synchronized and to take advantage of the spring. So keep this in mind and start trying to play with the settings of the spring and see how it feels.